But the question was, why and when should you put your speakers horizontally or vertically?
Another doubt of promise.
Hey guys, welcome to my studio. Today is a fantastic day. Yesterday was already great, checking out houses for the very first time, which is just wonderful. 1, 2, 3 floors. Being able to take this next big step and being like a full-time music producer, DJ and daily vlogger. So it's Monday, it's already 2. If you ask yourself what I've done the entire morning, I took care of a special project, and I'm so happy to announce that this right here is the very last piece. And of course I have to share this historic moment with you. That's the very last time sanding. Makes me kind of sad that it's now over, but also extremely happy. This project extremely annoying. And for the very last time, gluing. Come on. Yes. Done. Look at this beauty. That's beauty number 2, as you know. Here in my studio is already beauty number 1. I will install both of these acoustic diffusers in the back of the studio this week. The one over there still has to dry, so this week it's happening. Finally both going onto the back wall. Now it's time again to work on Logic. I can't show you and share with you my production techniques or anything about the song. It's an edit that I'm making of a very famous song, so I can't share it on YouTube. I shared a little snippet on my Snapchat. If you're interested, go there, check it out. Instead, showing you how I make music today and doing like a tutorial or anything like that, let's talk about like a question that one of you had in the comments. A couple of people saw that one of my speakers is flipped. This doesn't have to do anything with the acoustics. It's just this speaker seems to be broken, so I flipped it. But the question was, why and when should you put your speakers horizontally or vertically? And that's something that I also asked myself quite a lot. So let me try and answer it, because I already researched that a couple of years ago. It's actually pretty simple. Most speakers, I'd say 90% of the speakers on the market just have one position for them. So either vertically or horizontal. Usually near field speakers are vertically set up. They have like 2 outputs, like the bass, the big one at the bottom, and the tweeter at the top, and are lined up in the center of the speaker. And you actually, to really know how to set up your speaker, you have to check out the manual of the manufacturer. It says in the manual of every speaker how to set them up correctly. And in 99% of the cases, I would just follow whatever is written in there, because they know their speakers the best. Some speakers you can set up in both ways, and then it's really about trying it out and testing it. Just put them to the side, just put them vertically, listen to it and see if it helps. There are a couple of advantages and disadvantages if you put your speakers on the side. For example, here the Yamaha, as I said, I just flipped them to check something on the back. They would be actually way too low. You want to have the tweeter on ear level. Another thing that is definitely emphasized if they're on the side is that the big speaker, the bass woofer, is closer to you, and it might actually cover up whatever is coming from the tweeter. So if you tilt it towards you, you might get more from the top part. And if you tilt it away, like straight up, you will just get only bass frequencies. This way you can actually change how much bass or high frequencies reach your ear. But if you don't do it carefully, and same on both sides, you might actually make your sound in your studio worse than actually improving it. But if you have a measurement microphone or your ears are really skilled and trained, this way you can actually change the sound of your speakers way more than when they're up vertically, because then shifting it left and right doesn't change that much. I would just go with the tweeter straight to your ear. Then you have the midfield speakers. They are sometimes 2-way speakers, usually then also vertically, or if they're a 3-way, they're usually put onto the side, and they cost like 600 to 1,000 euros and plus. And then there are like the big systems, let's say like 2,500 and plus. Those speakers are actually so special, expensive, that it makes sense to actually pay someone to set them up in your studio, because otherwise you're just wasting your money. If you buy speakers for 10,000 and they're not put in place perfect, you're wasting a couple of thousands of euros, because you're not getting 100% of the sound out of them. So if you're playing in that league, you will probably not need this advice video. Just get someone to do it for you. the right way. So that's how it's usually done. Check the manual of your speakers, definitely. If they're for both ways, just try it out. And that's like my #1 advice when it comes to setting up your speakers. Put them in a triangle, make sure they're both the same distance from you, the same angle towards you, and just try it out. If it works better for you on the side, tilting them a little, then that's just the way it is. Every room is different. You will need to measure it or listen to it carefully. There is no way to tell you how to actually do it. I even know a producer, my friend Dilby from Berlin, he put his speakers, he flipped them like upside down because they were actually so low that he got reflections from the tables. So he just flipped them, put them really high so that the tweeter was again on his ear level and the bass speaker actually on top. It looks weird, but he told me it works.
If I have the tweeter at ear level, then the speakers are down here.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I turn them up, then I can have it.
Did you measure it or did you?
Yeah, it's all
okay.
measured.
So let me know what you think about this topic. Which way are your speakers set up in your studio? And if you're interested into a full guide how to set speakers up and actually get at least like 10% more out of your speakers without spending any money, I will link up the video right here and also at the end of this one. Now back to Logic, working on this edit so that I can hopefully share it with you tomorrow or at least this week. Done with work. This was a really productive session. One quick tip, never ever put your speakers like mine right now. One to the side, one up. That's horrible. It sounds really awkward, but otherwise the one that is to the side doesn't work. So I might have to flip the other one or maybe just get new ones. Those are older than 8 years and I think that's pretty impressive for like so cheap entry-level studio speakers. It's about time to leave the studio. I actually wanted today to do an episode where I go through all of the worst track submits. As you remember, 2 episodes ago I gave you samples to make a really shitty bad track out of it, which is always like a fun competition. And the first place is getting my very first keyboard, extremely old, not the best one, but better than no keyboard. But I got so many submissions, I couldn't go through all of them. I just went through the first third. So tonight I will try to check out the rest and then tomorrow do an episode where I present to you the worst ever created tracks. The days just keeping getting better, finishing the diffuser, finishing the edit, and now I got confirmed that something I've been waiting for a month is finally ready for pickup. Just one downside, it's raining like crazy. Yeah, this didn't work out. The place where I should get my package was of course already closed, so no iPhone X for me. I anyways didn't want to keep the iPhone. I will sell it or just send it back to Apple. That's like the first little step towards the house. Is that good?
Yay!
Hey. Now dinner time. I got another new machine. This is like an air fryer. You can fry without using oil. Really cool. So the end of the video, not that exciting. I actually wanted to unbox the iPhone, but that's not happening. So just tune in tomorrow again for the worst tracks. Maybe the iPhone unboxing, maybe another new kitchen machine. You never know with me. You want to say sign out? Oh, you're drinking wine again.
No, that's from yesterday.
Yeah. Welcome to Cooking with John Sine. Today, potatoes, sweet potatoes without frying them. And it could be actually like a fun second channel, Cooking with John Sine. I mean, I got so many of these machines. Why not?